nice and, well, let's just say a warm and humid 7 p.m. on a Tuesday. Nothing particularly special about that exact time, but it is time to go out and hit back. So there's a gym that's a little bit further away from me, which I've been going to a lot, kind of the old school one I went to yesterday. But for simpler muscle groups, I don't mind just going to more of a basic gym. You know, the one I'm headed to today, they've got cables, dumbbells, a few back machines, and that's pretty much it. You know, I'm not talking home gym dumbbells and a rack basic, but, you know, just basic shit, you know. There's no need to use like a fucking Nautilus pull down where like the seat moves, or like any weird kind of free motion. You know, there's nothing really special. You know, don't get confused. There's nothing extremely special about any one particular piece of gym equipment, apart from its ability to, well, really its ability to let you activate your own ability to fucking contract whatever your targeted muscle may be. So, you know, for me, with a lot of new shit, I mean, I'm sure you've noticed this. For me, at my college gym, they replaced a lot of equipment. They got some new stuff, and it was like a new line of, I don't remember, like Life Fitness or something. All just like weird pulleys where you didn't need them. Like, you know, the more basic a machine is, honestly, I almost think the better. Just because, you know, it doesn't have to have that many moving parts, you know? Like, I'll get on an old pec deck, like a really kind of old school one, where it's like just fucking, not even plastic coated handles, just a straight up metal bar as the handle. It's my favorite pec deck ever. It was my favorite pec deck of all fucking time. And then it gets replaced with a brand spanking new, covered in plastic, selectorized, just scrappy pec deck. You know, that's where, that's my only gripe with a lot of, but then again, that's from my perspective of like a crazy fucking lifter, to the, you know, the kind of the average guy to look into a gym and see all the equipment matching. It all looks nice, it all looks fancy and new. It's a bit more of a draw for like commercial gyms. So that's where I like a lot of newer equipment, where it's actually kind of more bodybuilding oriented. But apart from that, all I'm trying to say there is, you know, who gives a shit? If you see videos of guys in Gold's Gym and they get to use a fancy multiple angle Panada chest press, and all you've got is your hammer strength one at home, which kind of is a little squeaky for your home gym, whatever, man. You know, it doesn't, it's not about the tools, right? We've all heard only a bad craftsman blames his tools. But yeah, plan here, keep it simple. Pull downs, rows, pullovers of a few different varieties. And then by the time I've done like maybe 8-ish sets, that'll be it. For back, I usually do a little bit of an alternating approach, because, oh, I'll just say my approach first. Like, I might start with 2 sets of pull downs, or a pull down style movement, and then maybe move on to, you know, I don't know, maybe like fucking, I mean, it's whatever. Pull downs, pullovers, rows, fucking, you know, it doesn't really matter. But kind of going back and forth between pull downs, lat focus movements, and then more rowing, mid-back, trap focus movements. Because by the time I go back and forth between like 3 of those, like I did a few rows, a few pull downs, back and forth, then my back is going to be completely pumped and fatigued at the end of the lift. And doing a pull down, you still get a little bit of lower trap activation from, you know, the kind of the retraction of your scapula. And same thing with rows, you're still going to get lat activation. So even though there is merit to looking at every muscle group at each individual like muscle insertions level, I wouldn't sweat it. You know, don't you're not gonna catch me do 10 sets of traps and then 10 sets of lats and then 10 sets of mid-back. You know, at least for me, just hitting my back in its entirety from different angles, 8-ish sets, that's about right. Because by the time I've done that many, I'm fully pumped, I'm fully fatigued, and I've seen reasonable back growth. And that is not me saying that that's a perfect approach. I'm just saying for my own build and everything else that I'm doing, that works for me. So that's where you got to figure that shit out for yourself, man. If whatever back training you've been doing, you know, you've noticed that your lats aren't any bigger. One thing that really kind of spoils me now is just how much I document all my training. Like, not even on the social media side of things, just for me to be able to look at, I mean, at this point, we're getting into 1.5 years, almost years of just straight daily documentation of all the workouts and stuff. I can see minute changes, especially in the posing. Like, it's really kind of abrupt in the intros. I keep seeing all the Sam clips get reposted, and it's like the lat spread that I did in the first intro, like where I'm up against that white screen, versus the second one versus the third one. Like, my sort of silhouette has gotten so much crazier over the last 1.5 years, which is just really fucking cool for me to see. So that's where now getting into a little bit of a side note. If you're really going to be serious about working out, and then honestly, probably just in general, it's nice to have an actual camera. You know, we've all got our phones, everybody's got, you know, there's all the shot on iPhone, like Apple ads, so you know, everybody thinks they have a crazy fancy phone, just or a crazy fancy camera in their pocket at all times, which we definitely do. But there's something kind of fancy that happens when you actually have a real, like, camera lens, because that's what kind of gives that background sort of blurry effect. It's just, it's worth looking into, you know. So if you're thinking about something for your birthday or something, you know, for Christmas, I guess if you're in my younger demographic, something to tell your parents to get you, or if you're in my older demographic, something for you to get yourself. Having the camera is pretty fucking cool, because my these little pose down comparisons and like looking at my training clips from a real kind of cool camera versus my phone's camera, I feel way cooler looking at the fucking HD 4K clips, you know. And even though your phone says it shoots in 4K, not the same. Absolutely not the same. But enough camera chat, which I'll definitely do from time to time. You know, this is not something I really expected, but, or not, it's not something I predicted. But from doing all these and watching all these camera videos, I feel like a total fucking photography nerd. And I love it. I love looking at all the brand new fucking lenses and zooms and, you get the gist. But let's stop nerding out and get started on whatever movement I end up starting with. What do you think? Roll the dice. Lats focused or mid-back focused row? Let's find out. We got a crew of hooligans I'm working next to, but they got triceps, I got back. So plan here, decently heavy. Like, this is heavy, but it's not crazy heavy. This is within reason. So single-sided, kind of half row, kind of half pull down, because I'm not like this. This would be a pull down action. And I'm not exactly like this either. This would be more of a rowing feeling. So it's kind of a good in-between, which I'm totally fine with. You know, there's no reason to only do a 90-degree row or a vertical pull down. You got this whole fucking spectrum of angles to pull from. So stuff like this. This is getting pretty much everything from my mid-back to the lowest part of my lats. But I'm going to start with my weak side first, the left side. Squeeze, you know, failure, do some partials, and then switch arms and repeat. So probably one or two of these, and we'll see. I'm on TV. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh.
That was a really good controlled set. Let's just match the intensity on the big side. One more just like that. And I'm much more inclined to start my back days off with more kind of controlled shit like this, because it takes me a minute to get in the groove. Like for me, to do a nasty set of pull downs, really heavy, where I kind of like, I'm like swinging with the weight, it just doesn't feel as good, you know? So when I'm fresh, I kind of feel like I want to prime my engines on back with light squeezing stuff. And then once I'm already kind of pumped and activated, then start some more nasty sets. But one more squeezing one, just like that.
Child watch is closed and kids' time will be closing in 10 minutes. Child watch is closed and kids' time will be closing in 10 minutes at 8. Thank you. We're doing it, don't worry.
Yeah.
And we're doing
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Holy crap.
Paul Roger.
Yeah. 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 Oh my God. Oh. Okay. That's enough of that. Let's do something. Rowing, I think. This is one heavy ass machine. I can't even really do the stack for a totally nasty set. So be a bit more reasonable. Kind of 70% of the stack. Squeeze hard. Come on. A little tricky to do the straps one-handed like this. Yeah, there we go. Sounded better. Let's take a second. Make it a rest pause set. Oh my gosh. One more. Same weight, same everything. Okay. Okay. Back to something lat focused. Kind of a slightly wider grip instead of pull downs here. One more, at least. Okay. A little lighter and a closer grip. Yeah. 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 Okay. Back to more of a mid-back rowing sort of something or other. Oh, really good fucking pump so far. Let's just finish it off. Not the heaviest pull down / row I've ever used, but nice and smooth. And it's kind of cool. It's like a 2-in-1. So this is a pad for pull downs. But when I'm doing rows, it's almost like knee support. So I don't have to push through my feet to hold it. It's just kind of fucking cool. But I think I'm going to burn out with a classic set of rows. It's only 200 pounds, so that's a weight which is manageable. I'll just burn out with that. And then I think as a finisher, well, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay, let's talk about the next set before the next set. Catch my breath first. If you've got good intuition and you're in tune with my training, you probably could have predicted this. But same shit, I'm literally just gonna do the exact same set I just did. That set of rows, basically it's a failure. But instead of racking it and calling it a day, no. Drop the weight by about 50 pounds or so, and then burn out with pull downs. So at the end of my back days, that's when you're most likely to catch me doing these kind of rowing / pull down supersets or like combination sets, because it's the end of back. My whole back is pretty fatigued and pumped, but I just want to really finish it off. So That's why I like that one cable thing where I get two extra long D handles, set up an incline bench next to it, because I'm doing that stretch for the pull down action, and then lean back for a rowing squeeze. But all I'm trying to say there is I like to hit my entire back on whatever movement or superset of 2 movements that I finish back with. Because for one, it just lets me finish the back day with a complete feeling of back fatigue and exertion. And I know when I post down, my traps, mid-back, lats, everything is going to be fully pumped, which is cool for me. But let's hit this shit and find some freaky lighting. Good set. Now, a little tidbit before we pose down. No straps, because these sort of mag grip style handles, you can't really strap into them. But even with these, and any set of pull down, there's a little form tip. Don't, well, do whatever you want, but this is something I like to think. Don't think of just pulling the handle towards your body, right? When I was doing those sets of pull downs, what I was kind of imagining was trying to pull my elbows down in front of me. I wasn't thinking pull with my hands towards me. I'm thinking pull my elbows down like I'm doing a fucking, 12 to 6 elbow on somebody, because that's going to keep my biceps and my forearms from being activated too much and let me really send a lot of signals to my lats. But let's find some lighting, see how back is looking. First, a reasonably carved up back pump of the bulk. Perfect. So that was what, like, I don't know, 7, 8 total working sets? Pretty much what I would fucking expect. If I were to do like 20, just to take things to an extreme, I think that's too much. If your fucking back days or any day, you're doing more than like 12 working sets for each muscle group, if you're growing, don't listen to me, you're fucking growing. But I'm inclined to believe that's a little bit overkill. And not in a cool, like, I'm working extra hard kind of way. More of like I'm not working as effectively as I can kind of way. I know for a fact when I started working out and I was doing my 25 set workouts as a young pup, I was wasting energy. I would have gotten the same, if not probably better results with closer to like 10 or 8 really hard, nasty sets where I really made sure I pushed it on all of them than I would from 25 sets of what I now look back at as mainly junk fucking volume. But let's get a through the shirt lat spread first as a little bit of a pump teaser, and then get to the real thing. That's pretty freaking wide, I say. All right, let's see what it actually looks like. So, again, back is not what I would call one of my weak points. So for me, my back training, actually, I'm gonna kind of ease up on it. Not in terms of intensity, but just in terms of frequency. I just don't need my back to get much bigger. I want my arms to get bigger. Even right now, doing like this sort of just standing relaxed pose, I don't look at myself and say, my lats need work. I look at my arms and I say, I want my arms to catch up. But let's run through a couple here. Oh, man. Then same shit from the back. Oh, man. There we freaking go. So, back complete, well pumped. I know when I go home and I get some steak and some rice or some ramen or some whatever, that those carbs, those fats, those proteins, those calories are going to be used to begin to fucking stimulate growth and start depositing little by little fucking little, ounces of muscle all over the place. And more than likely tonight, mainly in my fucking back. So let's get in the car and roll. All done, all done. Diabolically pumped, satisfactorily fatigued, and in an overall sense, I am rather content at the moment. There's no more zen period for the lifter's day than post-lift, and I've been saying this a lot, post-lift, sitting in your car, playing on your phone, you know you had a good workout, you push yourself hard, now you get to chill. You know, that's just nice. That's just nice. And the cool part is, that happens no matter how good you felt. As long as the effort was there. I don't care if I was like dog shit sick today. You know, the fact that I knew I pushed it, I'm still a happy camper. You know? So that's where you've basically got a few different sets of responsibilities in terms of maintaining your progress and making legit gains. You have your your kind of animalistic intensity responsibility, where if you're in the gym and you've taken your pre-workout, you're gonna lift fucking hard, regardless of if you feel good, if you feel tired, if you got a good amount of sleep, if you're a bit dehydrated, if you didn't eat enough food, if you maybe ate too much food and you feel a little sick, whatever. You've got a responsibility to yourself, if you actually want to make gains, to where once you step in the doors, some serious work is going to be done. But you can help yourself out. You know, if that's you on if that's the day shift, if that's the morning shift, then the closing shift is when you're at home doing everything else outside of the workout, which is gonna affect how good you feel during the workout. You know, so if you get a good amount of rest, you drink enough fucking water or throw some electrolyte packets in there of any variety, have a good amount of food, hit your protein intake, don't stay awake until 3 a.m. when you have to wake up at 7, things like that, then there's no longer an added difficulty of the intensity side of things, because you're already good, you're ready, you're prepped. The best lifts that I ever have, I'm looking at them objectively, like strength, intensity, pump, everything, the best and most productive lifts that I have, and I mean like not productive in the grand scheme of like maintaining my effort levels, I mean the workouts which I know are the best and giving me the best results are the ones where everything is in order. I'm well rested, I'm well fed, I'm well slept, and when all those things are fucking, you know, locked in, then I'm probably almost gonna have a guaranteed good mindset, because I've got nothing like irking or nagging me in my mind, making me get distracted or whatever. And all I get to do is go in and really just see how fucking hard I can push myself. And then, you know, before you know it, your music's playing, the workout's over, you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're saying, I gotta make a fucking stops at Goodwill. This 2XL is a little bit tight on me. Better get a 4XL. You know, and that is a pretty cool thing to fucking think. So that's where it's, I mean, it's encroaching on your way of life. So that's, this is not a rhetorical statement, you know, how far do you want to take it? There are a lot of guys who just work out, they go to the gym, they don't really worry much about the diet side of things, they're not hitting their protein perfectly every day, they're not taking creatine, they're not doing their multivitamins, that's just not what they're into. They just want to work out, have a good, you know, hour of exercise every day, come home, totally chill, not have to worry about it. And that's totally fucking fine, you know? As much as I'm always like, dude, you got to track your macros, bro. You got to count every gram, you got to weigh it out. Just
having an exercise routine, like a workout routine, going to the gym every day, plus if you were to do your cardio in the morning as well, like if you took a guy and you told him nothing about diet, you told him nothing about fucking like sleep or, you know, anything fucking supplementarily, whatever. He's not taking multivitamins, he's not fucking doing whatever. All you had him do was do 30 minutes of cardio in the morning, you know, break a sweat, burn like 300 calories, have his heart rate elevated for 30 minutes. And that could be playing fucking basketball or just doing anything. Doesn't matter. If he's active for 30 minutes in the morning, cardiovascular style, and then he did a weight-based workout in the evening, and it doesn't even have to be like insane maximum Dorian Yates failure type sets every time. If he just did 8 like decent working sets, he felt a burn, he knew he did some damage, he stimulated his muscle. If he did that for a few months without changing anything else or without trying to change anything else about his diet, that dude is going to make serious fucking gains. You know, if you take a regular ass guy and you make him fucking exercise and be active like that, that is a fucking game changer. Now, when I talk about the importance of the diet and everything else and like making sure your sleep's on point, you're getting all your fucking vitamins, you're taking your fish oil, you're getting all your fucking, you know, red meats in and steaks and proteins and chicken and whatever, that's all, I don't want to say extra, but those are kind of, you know, extra kind of, I was about to say upgrades. I've been playing a lot of Balloons Tower Defense Battles. It's almost, I'm kind of enjoying it more than fucking Clash Royale. But so when I talk about the importance of the diet side of things and locking in every other aspect of your training, that is going to continue to give you gains, right? You're going to have to do that if you want to make continued gains beyond like the 6-8 month mark. But in no way do you have to even really worry about that as a beginner. If you haven't worked out at all yet, you haven't gotten into it at all, you're a complete novice, or you know somebody who's a complete novice, do not like pressure them into thinking that they need to be a goddamn professional dietitian to start working out. And like, if they do anything short of that, then they're not going to make any progress. Being in the gym on a consistent basis is night and day compared to somebody who's not training at all. And then, you know, that's kind of like the gateway drug of lifting, because once you start working out, odds are you see your first bicep vein, you're hooked. And you're going to say, oh crap, gains are pretty fucking cool. What can I do to make this, you know, continue to let me progress for longer? Then you're going to start looking into your diet more. You're going to realize like, oh crap, maybe 30 grams of protein per day isn't ideal for somebody my weight. Maybe I should be eating a little bit more. You know, little things like that. And then before you know it, you're fucking, you're walking into the gym and you're saying, oh crap, yeah, I don't really like this push down handle. I feel way too much short head. I'm going to switch to single arm overhead because I can really work my long head. And you're going to know every little itty bitty detail about lifting just from, I mean, half of it is just going to be from social media. Our phones are always listening to us now. Even if you watch this clip inadvertently, it just got fed to you, odds are your phone's going to keep pushing like fitness related content to you, which kind of blessing and a curse style, definitely a fucking invasion of your privacy. But that does mean that you've got lifting tips and information at your fingertips at all fucking times. So I say, as soon as you kind of realize you want to make legit gains, it's an upward fucking, or it's a upward spiral. There we go. I was about to say downward spiral. No. It's an upward spiral, because you're going to work out, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to say, okay, what can I do to keep enjoying this? What can I do to keep making gains? You know, I don't want my bench to be 225 forever. I want to get up to 250. I want to get up to 270. I want to get up to whatever. Right? You got to lock in the diet, man. And in terms of weight gain, I haven't really talked much about bulking, even though this is like early stages in my bulk right now. There's no way to get around it. If you want to grow, if you want to make legit fucking muscular gains, get bigger, get stronger, you know, get more fucking defined peaks of your bicep and have your chest protrude out more, you got to eat enough to fucking, you know, facilitate that growth. And that's something which you really have to kind of learn to understand. And I can't really say it any more plainly than that. If I didn't eat enough, I mean, it's a guarantee, I know it. If I don't eat enough food this bulk, no matter how hard and well I train, I'm not going to grow. I'm just going to end up staying the exact same size. Because don't forget, the point of working out per se and going into the gym, you're not growing any muscle in the gym. Honestly, all you're doing is stressing out your system and really stressing out whatever muscle you just trained locally. And then what you do outside of the gym, diet-wise, sleep-wise, recovery-wise, that's what determines the effect of that muscular stimulation that you got with the weights. So when I'm dieting down, if I destroy my fucking quads, when I come home and I eat in my calorie deficit, all I'm doing is, fucking repairing the damage I did to my quads, having them maintain their size and strength, because I don't have enough calories in my system to fucking, maintain and build up some more fucking quad mass. But now that I'm getting into the fucking calorie surplus kind of side of things, when I fucking wreck my back today, I'm gonna go home and my body's gonna say, shit, man, you got a fucking full tank. Let's fix this. Let's fix this up right. It's like flipping a house. You got to have the money to do the repairs and then actually make it nicer. If you kind of catch my gist there, that's kind of pushing it with the analogies, but there's no way to get around it. So if you know that you're itching for some more gains and you've been kind of staying around the same weight for more than you would like, I don't want to call you out for a specific time frame, but you know that you want to get bigger, get stronger. Some guys in your friend group they're focusing on their meals. You're seeing them walking around with fucking prepped meals in a thing of in like little plastic Tupperwares. Look, those things of chicken and rice or just anything, the food is gonna add up. And if you can't get it down, then you need to figure out a way to. And that's kind of on you, man, because a lot of stuff, fitness related, workout related, diet related, it's not really that simple as to just listen to someone talk about it and then you internalize it and you now get it. You have to go through the process of seeing what you're doing actually result in some kind of change in your own body, and then you'll understand. That's like telling a kid not to fucking don't lick that 9-volt battery, it's gonna zap your tongue. They're like, well, no, it's not. That's not really what happens. You know what I'm saying, right? You don't understand how sharp a knife is until you accidentally cut yourself. So that's sort of the idea I'm saying there. As much as you may kind of hear and listen to me like fucking yap on and on about calories and macros and I was about to say supersets, calories and macros and surpluses and deficits. Once you've gone through the process of watching yourself lose body weight because you've been eating in a consistent deficit, or once you've watched yourself begin to gain body weight, make size gains, make strength gains, because you're finally actually eating in a consistent surplus, once you've done that, that's when a little switch in your brain is going to click and you're going to realize, like, oh shit, yeah, man, food is actually having a pretty serious effect on how I feel. After just one day of eating a lot of food, because I was doing 2,500 2 days ago, the day before and the day of chest, I was eating about I went a little extra, had 4,000. I'm cutting down, doing 3.5 right now for this next few weeks. But after just a few days, 2 days literally, of higher than normal calories, actually eating in a calorie surplus, than sticking into that deficit that I've been in for a while, I immediately felt fucking stronger, because I went from being flat and carb depleted to fucking, full and kind of pumped up. So once you've done that and you've gone through the process of that, then you're going to really get it. And then it'll be so much easier to, kind of pretty much just apply yourself to your diet, because you'll really have a deep understanding, okay, this is going to have a direct result with my progress. Because if no one's ever actually dieted before, they don't really get it. This is something which I love seeing every time we do any kind of appearances or stuff, or at the Arnold, or whenever we stop at a supplement store and I get to talk to everybody. The guys who show me their fat loss transformations, where they lost 80 pounds in 6 months, or some of these guys lost 100 pounds in a whole year, they understand it. I can relate with them on a fucking deep level, because they know calories in, calories out is the thing that they're kind of fighting against. That's their stimulus to actually make their fucking gains towards their end result of whatever progress they're aiming for. So I can't stress enough the primary stimulator of my growth, this bulk, it's the calories. Because if I don't eat enough, I'm simply not going to grow. So that's, I think that's the end of my shtick right there. I got to get gas before I head back to the crib. And then I've got a steak waiting for me in the sous vide. Sear that thing up with a pack of instant rice, and I'm going to be a happy guy. So I'll see you tomorrow for arms. Oh my God. First bulked arm pump. I might be too excited. So let me not crash my car while turning. I'll see you then.